John Catsimatidis, owner-operator of 77 WABC and a wildly successful businessman. He is sitting in for Sid Rosenberg. And John Catsimatidis, Boris Johnson, it's official. He just resigned. He just made an announcement.
He's resigning official at a later date, or he's going to stay on as prime minister until somebody new is coming on? Or
yes, exactly. Until they get somebody else, he'll stay on. But it is official. He is stepping down. The date is uncertain because obviously it'll take some time for them to vote.
But he's going to keep his regular seat in Congress or in Parliament?
Well, that I don't know because it did just occur, and I watched some of the I watched the announcement with the sound down, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying. But I would imagine he's able to. I know he has the ability to keep a seat if he wants it, but will he do it? I don't know. I don't know what he said during the announcement. We're getting some audio of that right now as we speak. He literally during the commercial break just made the announcement, and it was broadcast so worldwide. Boris Johnson announcing his resignation, but these details, these questions, we will find out the answers to, John Catsimatidis. And Nigel Farage, the father of Brexit, as you point out, he will join us, scheduled to join us at 7:45, barring some unforeseen circumstance. We have him.
Nigel,
well, I think
Nigel Farage is on, the father of Brexit. Nigel, are you on?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everybody.
What the heck? I'll give you some New York language. What the heck is going on in Great Britain?
Well, what has happened over the course of the last few days is there was a sex scandal, and no one does sex scandals like the British. We're really good at it, you know. And unfortunately, the Prime Minister, for all his good qualities, and let's say he has got good qualities, he's energetic, he's optimistic, but unfortunately, ever since he became Prime Minister, it's been clear that he has a problem with the truth. When he gets in trouble, he tries to twist and turn, some perhaps being unkind, would say lie his way out, and this was about a senior official. There have been a series of complaints about this man's inappropriate sexual behaviour. The Prime Minister knew this, but denied that he knew it, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back, because we'd been through Partygate. The country locked down. Can't go and see your mum, and yet it turned out that in 10 Downing Street they'd been partying hard. So it is to do with truth, it is to do with competence, and in the end, over the course of the last 2 or 3 days, there has been a catastrophic decline in support for the Prime Minister, both in Parliament, amongst the MPs and the Conservative Party, amongst his own cabinet ministers, many of whom have resigned, and amongst Conservative voters, and a majority, over 50% of those who voted Conservative in 2019, that gave Johnson that big majority, wanted him to resign. So in the end, he saw the writing on the wall. So he came out just less than 15 minutes ago into Downing Street. He was... there wasn't any hint of bitterness. He said he was proud of the big things that they'd achieved in government, getting Brexit over the line, successful vaccine rollout, taking a lead on Ukraine. But he also said that he was sad to be going. He wanted to stay in the job. But actually, he did the whole thing. I mean, I must be honest, there was quite a degree of dignity about the way that he handled the situation. I was impressed by his demeanour, impressed by the way that he dealt with it. However, what he has done is to appoint a whole new series of ministers after the resignations, and so some of the big posts have been filled, not all of them, and he's making his intention clear that not only will he continue as a member of Parliament, but that he will continue to be the Prime Minister until the Conservative Party finds a replacement. Now, there are some who might say, look, he's been through a tough time, let's let him have the next 10 weeks, which is roughly what it would be. But I think the problem is this. Most of those that resigned, and it's 59 people who held government positions have resigned. It's a record. It's never happened before in British history. Most of those who resigned, in those letters, talked about integrity, talked about decency, talked about truthfulness and honesty. And if that number of his own party, if that many in the country think that he's fundamentally a dishonest man, then I think we may find within a few days the Conservative Party has plunged back into a civil war as people say, no, he should go and go now, and his deputy, who's a man called Dominic Raab, should run the country on an interim basis. So we know he's going, he has resigned, but he intends to carry on for another 10 weeks, and we'll see whether the mood of the party, the mood of the country, is prepared to tolerate that.
Is he going to keep his parliament seat, though, even if he resigns and walks away from being prime minister?
Oh, I think he'll keep his parliament seat until the next general election, which doesn't have to be until the end of 2024. So, yes, I don't see him walking away completely, but I would say that it's 95% plus that he will leave his seat in 2024, retire from politics, and, you know, he'll go on the speaking circuit because even though he can be a bit bumbly and stumbly, he's actually quite funny, to be honest. I mean, you know, if you have did a speech and you all had a glass of wine, he is quite entertaining, and my guess is that's what he's head on to do. But I just feel that it would have been cleaner and perhaps even more dignified if he'd said, look, I'm packing my bags, I'm out of here, my deputy's taking over for 10 weeks. I think that would have been cleaner. So I think there are, I'm afraid to say, some more battles to come in the ensuing week.
Bernie, what do you feel?
Well, to sum up Nigel Farage, he lied about two things. He lied about knowing about the party at 10 Downing Street, and he lied about one of members of his party groping a woman. So those are two lies. Now, he did not, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, attend that party. And so he didn't attend the party, and he wasn't part of the sex scandal, just lied about it. And as John Catsimatidis pointed out, if lying is a condition for being a politician, Washington, D.C. would be a ghost town. I mean, you guys in the UK, you guys in the UK have some high standards over there. If
well,
two lies can get you.
We do. You know, we can forgive leaders making mistakes on policy. Hey, who of us in our lives doesn't make mistakes? Who of us in our lives haven't done things that we regret afterwards? But the moral of the story, and it's a moral not just for people in politics, but it's a moral for life, and perhaps something we should teach all our children, is that if you get caught not telling the truth, then the only thing you can do is hold your hands up, fess up, and ask for forgiveness. And that he didn't do. It happened more than once, and people just said, enough is enough. And actually, I tell you something, if in this country of the UK we do hold our public figures to those high standards, then I think it's a very good thing.
No doubt. It is a good thing. But listen, Nigel Farage, you were an ally with Boris Johnson on the Brexit thing, but you weren't really close. You weren't really friends. You were not a big fan of Boris Johnson. It seems to me Boris Johnson in the past couple of years, he's gone more woke. He's gone more liberal. He's gone more soft. Right? Yeah. Am I right?
I mean, look. I worked with him in the Brexit campaign. He came to the campaign very, very late. Whether he believed in Brexit, whether it was for political opportunity, I don't know. But the truth of it is, on policy, he was elected as a Conservative, and he governed as a Liberal, with a fanatical attachment to net zero and many, many other things. And so in the end, I have to say my own sympathy completely ran out. It is time for a change. It is time for the Conservative movement in Britain to rethink itself. If it doesn't, it will have a catastrophic loss at the next election.
Now, from what I understand, Nigel Farage, the opposition leader, the Labour leader, Keir Starmer, he's not beloved as well in Parliament. His own party doesn't like him, just like they didn't like Boris Johnson on the Conservative side, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, Keir Starmer is straight. He's honest in that sense. I mean, he was our former Director of Public Prosecutions, so he's held senior public office. He has zero charisma, no humour, no ability to bring any enthusiasm. This is not the end for the Conservatives if they can redefine themselves under a new leader who is seen to be truthful, straight, and genuinely conservative. And gentlemen, I'm afraid I'm going to have to run, but it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Nigel, thank you so much, and we'll catch up with you again real soon. And
Lovely.
God bless America. God bless Great Britain.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
He was great. Nigel Farage on the Bernie and Sid show, giving us the lowdown. Wow, that's something, John Catsimatidis, that you got Nigel Farage in 20 minutes, and within 10 minutes of Boris Johnson resigning, giving us the details. He will stay on as prime minister until they get a replacement. It might take about 10 weeks. Nigel Farage says he should have quit and let his deputy prime minister take over. So there's going to be some rancor still
Bernie,
that he's there. Yes, sir.
We have to have a discussion. If Great Britain has those kind of standards, what the heck do we do with Washington? I mean, there's got to be
exactly.
There's got to be a discussion.
There really does. Yes. I mean, when you think about it, he lied about two things. Now, down in D.C., as you point out, John, they lie about things the Biden administration.
Everything.
Yes, the border is closed. Excuse me? I mean, yes, they lie, but it's Putin's price hike. What? These types of lies, and they're serious lies.
You believe this guy he's Homeland Security and what's going on at the border? I mean, that's treason. He's allowing all these people in. That is treason.
And then lies about it.
I mean, I'm not going to say treason for the president of the United States. You know why? Because the people around him are being treasonous, in my belief, because they're feeding him information. Don't forget, the president of the United States is only fed information that the people around him are feeding him. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but the head of Homeland Security, that is treason, allowing all those borders open and lying about it.
Exactly right. And yes, you're right about Joe Biden. He's a stooge, really. He's a useful idiot. They tell him things, and he doesn't realize that maybe he doesn't realize that they're not true, and he repeats them. So I don't know. Something tells me, he's not as dumb or cognitively impaired as we might think. He knows.
Well,
I think he's aware.
I'll take the high road because of the presidency of the United States, and I'm going to blame the people around him first before I blame the president of the United States.